12:40 a.m. WSBC. Welcome back, folks, to another week of the Hooley Radio Hour. This show is presented to you by Fox's Pizza. There's one in Mokina and in Orland Park. Thin, hot, sizzling, greasy tavern, square cut style za. The best on the south side. Fox's Pizza. Flood Brothers Disposal. Every day I wake up, I walk outside my back door, I see my dumpster, and I thank God that the floods exist.
Yep.
Because they're the best at the game of waste hauling services. Call the floods today if you don't use them. Call your village hall. Ask them why they don't.
Yeah.
Madden Funds. Lucky day. 450 G's tonight.
I'll take it.
I kissed the ticket before I came in. I'm hoping tonight's my night. And if it is, I'm calling Mike or Dan Madden immediately. Say, Mike, it happened. It finally happened. You know that plan you've been drawing up with me?
Let's put it to good use.
Make the call. Make the call. Make it happen.
Yeah.
And Guinness Irish Stout. Guinness is good for you. My name's Patty Houlihan. I'll be your host all hour. Joining me as always to my left, twin brother Billy.
What's happening?
No Sarah, no Clay tonight, but it's me and Guy.
Us 2 weeks in a row.
Guy, as I used to call you, or still call you sometimes. I don't think our radio listeners know you as Guy very much.
Some of my close friends do, yeah.
Yeah, hi Guy. Short for Guillermo.
Guillermo.
Yes.
Yeah. I've never been able to escape it.
No.
I mean, since 8th grade. I don't know why it was. Maybe it was just like the white suburban kids that we grew up with thought that the name Guillermo was hilarious. And they stuck with it.
I think it was because you...
But then it became like every guy that was named Bill, people were calling him Guillermo.
No, not around our friends. It was always, for some odd reason, you were Guy. And it's not Guillermo, it's Guy. Just the prefix of it.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
Well, it's good to see
I had a friend call
Guy.
me on the other phone the other day. Hi, Guy.
Right.
And I was like, oh, wow.
Which for any other foreign person might Heige would be Higee.
They'd be like, why? What is his name?
Who are you speaking with? Who's Heige?
Yeah.
Good week for you?
Not bad. No complaints.
The world keeps rolling by.
Sure does. Not stopping for anybody.
Not at all. I had a pretty good week. Pedro Grifol, that's the big news here in Chicago, is Grifol got fired.
If you're a White Sox fan, it's like, I don't know. I mean,
I don't even know how to feel about it. Most people, it's not like it came as a shock.
I don't get it. Like, they fired him, 2 days after they broke their streak?
That 2 days after they didn't qualify for the worst losing streak in baseball history.
Like, okay,
they actually salvaged that record for themselves.
So they let Grifol at least not, have that record on his resume. You got the win. Now we'll fire you.
Well, no, they would have had to lose another 3 games. Yeah, I know.
Like, he didn't have to be that guy that held that badge of honor as being the manager of the.
He wasn't going to be that guy anyway. But I see what you're saying. Yeah. He's gone.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've named an interim guy yet.
I mean, I never got it. I'm not trying to knock him as a baseball man or anything like that, but I never got excited about when they hired Pedro Grifol.
I don't think anybody
the guy
did.
from the Royals? Are you serious?
I don't think anybody in town did.
This is a
he
big
seemed like a very
team.
nice guy, right?
Yeah.
It's a tough situation for him to walk into as well. Do you think he walked into that room knowing that it was going to be this bad?
No.
No, of course not, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think he ever fired up the team. Oh, Mike has a note. As of tonight, Grady Sizemore is the new manager
That's correct, yeah.
Whoa.
They fired everybody.
Cleveland Indian.
No, they fired the third
Former
base coach,
Cleveland
they
Indian.
fired the bench coach, they fired the assistant hitting coach, and they fired Grifol. So, there's lots of new guys that were on the coaching staff are being slid into these roles, but Sizemore got the managerial position.
Interesting. Have you ever worked for a company where they did that, where they cleaned house with all the upper management, but somehow you got to still hang around?
No.
No?
I mean, I've been part of reorgs, but
That's okay. So that's similar.
But like
I like how you took you're in. I've been part of the reorg.
But I'm a union.
That's horrible lingo for blow your head off work material.
I'm in a union.
A reorg.
Well, I know everybody hears that and they're like, eh. But when you're union,
When everybody hears that work, that's very LinkedIn-ishy talk. Go on.
When you're union protected, you still have a job. So it's the people when there's a reorg that you're not part of the union where they're all like, oh.
Yeah.
So I've been lucky enough that in my career
the butt goes like this a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've not had to have that. I mean, you have the anxiety of going into a meeting after a reorg and being like, where are you putting me? But you still have a job.
Right.
Where other people are like, I could be walking out of the door today. I don't know, that aren't in the union. There's not a lot of that because, I mean, there's some of it, But no, I've never had to experience it like where 20 people all at once get fired. No.
That's all I keep seeing on LinkedIn right now is, especially in the entertainment world, the contraction that's happening, as a result of AI, but also just where the ad spends are going and all the consolidation between streamers and, it's pretty bad right now, really. And so whenever they hear the word reorg, that's like death. That's the term of death.
Yes, it is.
So my heart goes out to all those people. I'm even part of that right now.
Yes, you are.
All I can tell people is like, just keep moving forward and making stuff. Got to keep making stuff.
Yeah.
Can't just sit around and not do it anymore.
Yeah.
But you've never been, when I was in the startup world, those seemed like a reorg, right? Or a wipe clean. Seemed to happen quite frequently in the first 5 years.
Well, sure, because you're constantly evolving. They're constantly evolving the pace of where the company's going, and they're like, going at our pace. Bye.
Mike has a note. Paramount Global is from Deadline. Paramount Global to cut 15% of U.S.-based workforce. Co-CEO Chris McCarthy confirms. Well, they're not going to like McCarthy, the nice Irishman, But that's not good,
No, it is not.
And people are wondering, like, where's it going towards? Vince Vaughn was on that show Hot Ones recently. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
It's where the celebrities eat chicken wings. Who would have thought, right?
Yeah, it's a big show.
Maybe we should eat, like, Kansas sardines or do something really offbeat,
Kansas sardines?
Well,
do they have Kansas City sardines? I never heard of that.
Give him the rim shot for that one. Dad joke of the night. Mike has a note. He's writing something down. Sour candy. Ooh. So every time a guest comes on now, we just give them the sourest candy in the world and talk about life while they
That's fine with me.
pucker up.
I'll be fine with that.
Anyway, Vince Vaughn was on the show Hot Ones. So there's a plug for that right there. And was asked by the host, and I'm not sure, I can't remember the host's name, Hot Ones, but he was asked by the host about why we're not seeing more comedy films, original comedies being made anymore. And don't quote me on the exact wording of how he phrased it to Vaughn, but he wanted to know why. Sean Evans is his name?
Yes.
Hashtag Sean Evans.
Okay.
He wanted to know, he asked Vaughn why these sorts of films weren't being produced anymore, or we're not seeing that stuff in Hollywood. And Vaughn gave a very articulate answer. I think it resonated with a lot of people, especially screenwriters and producers that have been writing original material for the last 20 years. Vaughn said, Hollywood's not willing to take a shot on anything that's not IP based, right? And intellectual property. So it's got to have a branded content component to it or a brand connected to it. So the executives at the studios have something to point to and sort of save their own asses in the event that it's not a success, right?
Right.
So they want to partner with Mattel, like Barbie movie's a good example. Or they want to partner with, who knows? Maybe they'll. You get the idea.
DC Comics,
right? Well, that's a given. There's all those tentpole movies, but I'm just saying, like a brand, maybe a brand or any sort of IP, right? That could be a brand, that could be a previous story, it could be an album, it could be a song, it could be the rights to someone's life. But it's not. It just doesn't mean that anyone's just going to write an original story anymore. They're not going to take the chance on that because these executives have gotten in positions where they've seen the history of the industry as to being that if you make a bomb while you're an executive or you make too many bombs, you're out, right? These guys have gotten too comfortable in their chairs as executives in Hollywood that they don't want to leave. That the money's too good. They like hanging out, and they're not going to take a big risk on anything that doesn't already have a giant metric tied to it or attached to it. A tide. Is that a word, a tide?
Yeah.
My hands were a tad. My feet were a tad. They ball gagged me and then beat me with a paddle.
Told me to make the Barbie movie.
They said, "Why don't you have any IP?" I said, "Because I'm original." But so that's a big part. I thought it was interesting that Vaughn came out and said that. Then there was a lot of people in the industry sort of debating that the next day, and I'm going to have to agree with Vaughn.
Okay.
So like Why aren't there more Doug the White House alien shows? Why isn't Anthony's Dad a sitcom?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Why don't the studios start, or even the streamers,
Fanboy.
Yeah, take chances on insane stuff? And Vaughn was saying that's where the real comedy is going to live in the future. Like, why aren't there good comedies made anymore? Right? He's like, well, there is. There's thousands of really, really funny scripts out there that are ridiculous and fun. But none of these executives want to take a shot on that, right?
Yeah.
So the democratization of where the content industry is going and people making their own content, it's painful right now for a lot of people. There's just all the, and they're trying to figure out, well, I've always wanted to do it anyway. I think a lot of people that have worked inside, the production or the entertainment system have always had the dream of their own to go do their own thing, right?
Sure.
But life passes you by. You get kids, you get a home, you get comfortable, and then all of a sudden in your mid-40s, it gets ripped out from underneath you. And it's like...
Are you speaking of yourself?
Well, I'm thinking, yeah, it's just not just me.
Yeah, right.
Union liquor boy with a safety job. You condescending dick.
Yeah, sorry, you hate me for that.
Hey, with your tan and your teeth and your Houli hat, smiling at me.
Nice dad shirt, geek.
Mm-hmm. Mike has a note. What does it say? Reorg. Yeah, Mr. Reorg boy over here.
I'm a survivor.
Using the
Reorg.
same terminology as those corporate dicks we all hate.
Well, we're still on the
Reorg.
radio.
Guys, huddle up. There's been a bit of a reorg. Oh.
Yep. Yeah,
Anyway.
Sorry, man.
You don't
what do you want me to do? Get a job.
Get it? I see. This is what I'm getting at. This is what the discussion and why people are pissed on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Because people that are comfortable in jobs don't understand the struggle, and then they look at people who are complaining or at least giving calls for help. For trying to find new opportunities or reinvent themselves.
Yeah.
And you're like the dad who doesn't understand. Who's like, get out there and mow that damn lawn.
But my arm's broken. I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
Get a job, loser. It's like, oh, Mr. Protected. He's talking down to people.
Yeah.
You know where they never talk down to you?
They'll never call you a loser.
Never. Fox's Pizza in Mokina and in Orland Park. They'll make you a hot, thin, cheese, sizzling pizza.
No losers there, just winners.
Right, only winners. This show is presented by Fox's Pizza. More Hooley's Hooley when we return.
Fox's is the best pizza in Chicago, and everybody knows that. For 3 generations, Fox has been cooking up the most delicious known to man. And if you want to have some, you got to go south to Orland Park, where Fox's started in 1973, over 55 years ago, at 143rd Street and Ravinia Avenue. And also south to Mokina, where Fox's started in 2006, 187th Street, just west of Wolf Road. Go south to Fox's. And guess what? Both locations offer the greatest pizza in the history of the world, but also live music every Friday and Saturday at both Orland Park and Mokina at no extra charge. Go south to Fox's. Your mouth will thank you, and your ears and eyes will thank you too. You gotta love that Fox's Pizza. Go south to Fox's in Orland Park and Mokina. Pick up or delivery. You can't beat Fox's Pizza, so go south.
Hey listeners, I know we don't talk about finance much on this show, outside maybe the amazing Bitcoin the Musical, which we currently have in development. But I do want to take a moment and tell you about 2 brothers who make this show possible and why you should consider having an honest conversation with them about the future of your finances. Mike and Dan Madden are the brains behind Madden Funds. They've been lifelong friends to Bill Clay and me, and we entrust the Maddens with our money and the precious donations of our listeners so we don't let outrageous ideas get the best of us. And you should too. Do yourself a favor and reach out to Dan or Mike Madden today to book a consultation on the future of your finances. If you have questions about your financial future or current situation, give them a call. The number is 708-848-3200. Again, that number is 708-848-3200. Or you can visit their website, Madden Funds, at www.maddenfunds.com. Again, www.maddenfunds.com.
With a history going all the way back to 1896, the International Union of Operating Engineers has continued to protect workers and their families with loyalty and brotherhood. Local 150 has continued to thrive through economic booms and busts with careful training and aggressive organizing. Under the leadership of President and Business Manager Jim Sweeney, Local 150 has implemented programs and action plans to create work, protect benefits, and keep members working. And they've been helping the Irish American community of Chicagoland for just as long. The Hibernian Radio Show is proud to be associated with Jim Sweeney and Local 150, and we salute the continuing efforts of the International Union of Operating Engineers and their support of Irish and Irish American families now and in the future. Thanks to Local 150.
An Irish Christmas is coming to Chicago. Join Ireland's own Keith and Kristen Getty for an unforgettable celebration filled with favourite carols and hymns, foot-stomping instrumentals, and brand new songs that'll have the whole family singing. Invite your community. Celebrate the true meaning of the season together. December 2nd at the Chicago Theatre. Tickets are on sale now. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. That's Ticketmaster.com.
And we're back, Hooley's Hooley. Second quarter of the program.
Yeah, man.
I'm here with Reorg Boy.
We were outside enjoying this wonderful summer air during the break with some smoke in it.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that didn't sound good, did it?
See, because we're in a studio, we can't be like Rogan where they're smoking on the show.
No.
We'd be like the old Joe Franklin show. We'd be like smoking squares and,
right,
talking about reorgs and all kinds of other crazy important stuff.
But while I was out there, I got a
Morton Downey Jr. Thank you, Mike.
I got a notification on my phone from one of those dating sites.
And they said you've matched with Morton Downey Jr.
No,
said,
but it was like it was like this person liked your profile, right?
Yeah.
And I hit it, and I went, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And
you're getting pings though. You're getting roses. You getting roses?
I don't get any of that stuff. What is that?
Roses is when you sign up on Hinge. We're talking Hinge again.
I mean, because you made such a thing of it last week. Why not?
When you sign up on Hinge, there's an opportunity for you.
Oh, right, that you can send.
Like if you really like someone, right? If they give you a little tinge, if they give you a little tinge in your Hinge.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tinge in your Hinge.
She gave me a tinge in my Hinge. So I sent her a rose.
Yes.
That's what you can pay for a rose. That's how the app makes money.
Yeah, and I'm not paying for that.
It's like,
crap.
yeah, Mike's like, well, it's your Apple Pay or whatever it's tethered to. But
you think there's a guy out there that's buying like hundreds of roses a day?
Yeah. Yeah, some guy on a yacht in Russia, Maybe. I bought 40,000 roses. Yeah. Look at all my honeys,
Anyways, I said, I looked at it and I was like, nah, not my type. And we kind of had the discussion where, you said, oh, they got to put a tinge in your Hinge for you to Yeah. And I said, yeah, I'm kind of, he goes, well, you could meet somebody. He goes, at a certain point when you're single for so long, you have to look past maybe the looks aspect of
hotness.
And just be like, maybe I just want to meet someone that's really great and nice.
And take a chance on somebody because they might have a great personality or be a good human being.
And there's a lot of truth to that.
As you get older.
I haven't crossed that bridge yet. I can't. I'm like, if I'm not attracted to the person,
right?
We can't. I'll be your buddy and go have a cheeseburger. But
do
I don't
have
want,
in your filtered list what you're looking for? Like, do you have a hyper filter on? Where, the women on Hinge can do that for I don't want any guys in my carousel to be under 6'1".
Oh, sure, yeah. I'm pretty open about a lot of stuff, but maybe I should. You're right. Maybe because I just got on this thing, so maybe I should filter it a little bit. But I will make the joke because we were talking about what is a reorg in dating. When you're dating someone, it's like, is it when they go, we need to talk?
Oh,
is that the reorg?
Is that the reorg in the dating life?
We
need to talk.
Like, hey, we need to talk. That's usually not a good sign.
No.
I mean, I've had that. I think everyone probably that's experienced the relationship has been like the we need to talk thing. And you're like, oh, gosh, where is this going now? Are we going either, are we going to zigzag a little bit and stay where we are? Are we going way off the rails? Is this over? Are there new boundaries being
Maybe
set?
I can change. Yeah. I can change, baby. We don't need to have no talk. I know what I'm doing wrong.
And is the talk as opposed to when women
I got to get my tinge in my head.
Is it when people, when women go to men, is it more or less if they say to you, we need to have a talk, usually that's bad news? Right?
Yeah, I think whenever someone says we need to talk, It's never like, hey, we need to talk. You just won Mega Millions. You know? Oh my God! You know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's always coming. It's always like,
bracing you for
Joe
disappointment.
was in the bathroom and saw a foreign substance on the ground, and we're thinking that it might be you. You know?
Whoa.
Or anything like that. You know?
Yeah.
Or you were insubordinate at work. Insubordinate. That's another one of them reorg type words.
So, like, well,
we had to let him go for insubordination.
compliance issues. Right?
Compliance. Insubordinate. Reorg.
Yeah. And
These are all terms you do not want to see in your emails.
no, HR. I don't want them emailing you either.
Right.
Unless it's about a bump in pay. Then
But
you're
the
like,
weird
yes.
thing is the ambiguity in so much of the vernacular that gets used by HR now.
Right.
You don't even know anymore if you're in trouble. You're just like trying to decipher what all these big damn words
What's
are
that
meaning,
language
you know?
mean? I get what you're saying.
What does it mean? That I was wrong or he was wrong? But I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So people handle, like you were saying, you handle reorgs different ways and how you can navigate it and whether you're getting fired or not. In dating, when the reorg happens, there's probably a couple different ways it goes. It's either you're fired and it's over, we're dumped, right? Or you can, you could stick around and then choose to be, a simp and get gaslit for, 4 months.
Simp. You've been on Reddit lately, huh?
Or then the other one is you just get friend zoned.
Yeah. What's a simp? That's like a pushover guy, right?
Yeah, it's like someone. It's like.
I thought, what's the difference between a simp and a cuck?
I don't know. I think a cuck has to be married, or
A cuck has to have the sexual act happen in front of him.
I guess maybe that's it. I think a simp is just somebody who just enjoys being treated like crap or takes it because they hope that, there's a rainbow at the end of the
he's hoping there's a leprechaun?
He's hoping that there's a pot of gold at the end of this horrible
Mike's
horrible
working
months
on
that
it.
he's
We'll
lived.
get to the bottom of this in a minute.
But that's like a reorg. So you're like, where do I go? Do I just quit the job? Do I go take the friend zone thing and see if maybe there's a chance again?
I don't know
or
if
do
it's
I
a
just become
personality
a simp and hope that everything's gonna happen?
no one ever just wants to become a simp.
No. Simping happens over years of being
rejected and not wanting to. Like, please, not again. This is not happening to me again. I'll do anything.
Right.
Maybe I can change. I can change.
I'll make changes. I
Here's
promise.
the reality: people don't change.
I don't think so. I mean, I think they change.
I think they change with age, right? And they move on. But like their moral code and their values.
That stuff
they're not gonna teeter too much on that anymore.
No.
Right?
Not at a certain age. No.
That's like, especially when they talk about like in the dating world now, you see like people who like they won't date across parties anymore.
Right. Yeah.
There's none of that.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, can't deal with that. Will not. Got to have a conservative woman or got to have a liberal. People are sticking with their own on that front. Right. But I think that, and I looked this up recently. It's like, so most like on the dating sites, people will like either be very forward about that stuff or they won't publish it at all. Right.
I've gotten to a point where I'm
there's like
very forward about it.
You're forward about it. All
yeah,
right.
because I've dated. I've been in a bunch of different relationships with people that where we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of political views, and they all went south.
Yeah, eventually, right?
Eventually. But who's to say I've also been in a relationship too where I did align with the same views, and that also went south. So I'm just, some of us just aren't good at this.
Yeah, right. But what I was getting at is that there was, they tried to have a conservative dating app, failed miserably.
Oh, really? I did not know this.
I forget the name of it, but it failed miserably.
Yeah.
I still think Bald Eagle could work. I think that a website for just people that like to shave everything.
Right. Their whole bodies.
Their entire bodies.
Yeah.
Is a thing. Right.
Yeah.
There could be success. But the problem was that there weren't any women that wanted to be a part of these conservative dating websites. Most of the young women, it was called The Right Stuff.
Oh, see? Wow. I never,
Right. Who'd you meet on The Right Stuff? Rod and Bob. I was hoping to meet Roberta. Yeah. But that was so there's a disproportionate amount of women that are liberal versus guys who might be conservative looking. Mm-hmm. So they don't, I've noticed that, but there's more, but they say that, males below the age of like 35 right now and under, a great majority of them many of them, are more conservative leaning versus women in their age range who are the other way. So as a result, there's like a disproportionate amount of there's all these guys who might be, lefties with this giant pool of women that they can select from. Yeah, they might be crushing it, right? The guys on the right be like, they're just a bunch of simps. Don't matter, cuck, simp, wiener, loser. Right?
Yeah.
But now they say that if you don't, and I've seen this, if you're not forward enough with what your political beliefs are and you just leave it off your profile, women assume that you're conservative. They're like, really? Oh yeah, if you're not going to say you're a liberal up front, that means you're hiding something from me, right?
Okay.
And so you agree with that?
I might agree with that. Yeah.
You think that you're either out with it or you're not. So you have to be, which I think sucks. I think it's a terrible thing.
Yeah, I think two people should meet first and then they should see if they vibe as human beings before they get into the political arena.
I know, but I don't think that exists right now in our society. So I think that in the future you could see a lot of sad old single women who never found dudes because they put their political beliefs in front of finding a life partner and trying to figure out life together.
Finding love.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a dating show in there somewhere, right?
Sure.
You get and Mike has a note. That's why they make cats. Well, thank you. Is that J.D. Vance who was referring to that?
Yeah, the cat thing. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know exactly what happened, so I'm going to feel like a fool talking about it.
No, I'm not talking about the J.D. Vance thing. I'm just talking about how do you react to people with cats?
I don't do cats because I'm allergic to them.
Okay.
Right.
But if you fell in love with a woman who had a cat, how would you be like, you got to get rid of the cat? It's me and the cat, or would you be like, I think I can survive?
I would say it's a health issue for me, not an emotional issue.
But you wouldn't say like, fine.
And Mike has a note. Well, how many cats does she have? Right.
Right. I dated a girl once who had 4 cats.
Okay.
It didn't last very long. Yeah. I knew about 1 in the beginning, and then I think I got to her place, and I was like, oh, there's 2. And then 3 weeks later, she had brought in 2, another one, and I was like, what's going on
happening
here? What's happening here?
Right.
Yeah.
They're all staring at you while you're walking around half naked, like you don't belong here.
Probably.
We don't like you.
You keep going outside to have cigarettes.
If you die of a heart attack, we're gonna eat you. Cats eat their owners.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, if old people that die with cats are left unfound for a while and they had cats, the cats just start getting after it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So then if you were an old person and your cat dies, does that give you an excuse to cook the cat?
In some societies, I believe maybe,
You're like, we've been waiting for Timber to die for years. I can't wait to tear into this
What happened
thing.
to your cat? Social Security check came late. Fried it up and ate it. You did. It was your friend for so long. Yeah, it was still my friend when I ate it too. I thanked him. I was starving.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the cats are sneaky, so I think lots of people that gravitate towards cats
are sneaky people by nature.
Too, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think there's definitely a personality trait to a person who likes having a lot of cats.
Yeah, I think it's funny though. You'll see on those dating apps too. It's like, are you a dog person? Or do you like cats? And it's like, what if I don't like either?
Well, or you're a horse mom. There's a lot of horse moms. Women in stables with horses.
Yeah, my horse.
Street tacos, horses. I can't keep up.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mike just gave me the high sign. We're at the point where we have to leave our radio listeners and continue our discussion in podcast land.
Yeah.
So for all of you who've been enjoying it, go to hibernianradio.org and listen to the second half of the program. Or go to iTunes and search for Hooley's Hooley Show, where all the podcasts are uploaded. We'll see you after this riff.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Hooley's Hooley.
Yeah.
Second half of the program. Been a lot of dating talk and dating app
What
talk.
was the joke while we were at the on our little riff there? Was it
Before the break, I was discussing
conservative in the head, liberal in the bid?
Yes, the whole idea of that, and Billy Wooten said to note, he said conservative in the head, liberal in the bed. Should be a slogan that you might want to use on one of those.
I don't know, Mike. Oh yeah, he's giving me the head. Put my mic next to me.
Yeah, get your mic close. Get your mic close. We got important things to talk about.
Yeah, we got to talk about some dating apps, man.
Yep. Well, we got to talk about your dating apps, man.
Or what reorg means within dating.
We got to talk. Yeah, we need to talk. How about the we need to talk kind of ultimatum sort of discussion that happens on the dating site before you even get to go out on a date with someone?
Yeah,
I've noticed there's a lot of that.
Oh, man. Really?
Yeah. I might have been jumping the gun, but I was like, what are you doing? Let's go out. I'll meet you for a drink. I think some people like that. And some people are like, wait, what?
Oh, right. They're like, are you a serial killer?
Well, I mean, I don't think they all think that. But I'm not one to sit around and text and banter with someone for ages.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't we just meet me out and we'll see what your personality is like and go from there, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's a lot of women willing to do that right now, right? There's all this screening process that must
not
go
a lot
on.
of men that are willing to do it right now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like,
You don't want it, so you want to be on the dating apps, but you don't want to take action on like actually meeting anyone from the dating app?
Eventually, I guess the first reason you get on there is to see if you're still likable.
Oh yeah.
Like, are people interested?
Right.
In me?
I wonder if someone's gonna send me a rose.
Is that gonna happen? Am I still somewhat okay? You need it as a self-confidence booster. I think a lot of women might do that too. They get on there, they see that there's men that are interested, and they're like, okay, good, my self-confidence is back. I'll pick who I want to meet in the outside world of, whatever this app is.
Yeah.
And then, gosh, I've had one where, this was I remember a few years ago I was on one of these apps, and it's if you don't pay for it,
yeah,
it'll come up all of a sudden, like, because you can't see the people that like you if you don't pay for it, right? You can just sit there, swipe back and forth. Yeah. And I was always like, I'm not paying for this crap, And I was always curious. I'm like, who? And then sometimes a thing would pop up and it'd say, you have a secret admirer, and it'd be like a window, and you'd have 4 windows to pick from. Right?
Oh, it's like your slot machine. Like, pick your prize?
Yeah, and like you pick it, and the profile turns around, and it's like the girl that like would have liked you, or the male, right?
Right. So it's a hot one, super hot chick.
No, and I kept I remember one night looking at it and being like, oh, I got one. Here's my churn. And then it happened to me once before, like 2 times before, and I kept getting this same chick.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, and I'd be like, not picking that window this time. This time I'll hit this window, and it happened again for like the third time. A while. This was years ago, and I remember going, no, not you. Mm-hmm. And it was like me screaming at someone who's, just because
who you have no relationship with. It's just a picture.
No, they just didn't put the tinge in my hinge.
You got to get your tinge in your hinge.
And I was like, why are you taking up my space?
Right. Maybe I can change. Mike has a note. How can I save a dating relationship when I'm promoted and she will be in my vertical reporting chain? Oh, I've been promoted recently, and my division at the company where I work is being reorged.
Oh, no.
I had been dating my colleague for slightly less than 1 year, in which she was previously a project manager. My team members had a horizontal dashed line reporting relationship to. Okay. What in the Sam hell is this guy? This is a guy who's been in corporate America. To mitigate the conflict of interest while my team members were on a project she led, my team members had to move her to direct vertical reporting chain to her. This reporting change was requested by HR, for which I pushed back, but was unsuccessful. Mm-hmm. Ooh, he's like, you don't take my girl out of my reorg. Now with the reorg, there is an almost certain chance that she, my date, will report to me directly in my new role after the promotion and be junior to me in rank. Prior, we were both considered peers at the manager level. Product and project management is being absorbed into our division. Cybersecurity for all projects that support cybersecurity. This is nuts. The conflict of interest here is painful for both of us, and our dating relationship is preventing the reorg from being viable. Her projects in the past has always been for cybersecurity, and it will be hard for her to be successful as PM in a division outside of cybersecurity.
Project manager. Right.
Team members, coworkers, team members on my current team has already asked what will happen if my date were to move under my vertical supporting chain. And it pains me have to say, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have the talk with her. We need to talk. You know, and then she's going to be
here's the thing. He could, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Sound like Biden, but here's the thing. The people already know that he was with her. You know what I mean? The people that work with her. It's not going to be good either way, right?
Sure.
So he's got to fire his girlfriend,
or he's got to walk and give her his job.
Yeah, he's never going to do that.
I don't know.
He's a cybersecurity project man. But
he could be a simp.
Oh, yeah, where he's like, you take it.
You take it. You deserve it more than me.
I'll stay at home with the cats. What do you think?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'll go get a job at Costco. Everything will be fine.
Well, no. See, you throw these places out like they're just giving jobs away.
I know we've had this argument before because you were like, because I think when we say, like, we made a joke weeks ago about Walmart. Yeah. We were like, oh, that'd be a fun show if you just showed a guy getting fired from Walmart.
Because you're union protected. And you're like, well, you can always get a job over at Costco or sort of like, no, you can't. Those days don't exist anymore. You know? Why don't you just go like, oh, I'm sorry you lost your job. Why don't you just go be a janitor or something? You got to work somewhere. And it's like, well, wait a second. It's not like they're just hiring janitors everywhere. But you're right. I see what your point is.
I get it. Day labor.
Day laborers. In fact, I'm going to pull it up right now because I've been looking on LinkedIn and because of all like the contraction happening in the stock market right now.
Right. Yeah.
One of these influencers is talking about like fail-safe kind of like business models that you should be investing in. Right. Mm-hmm. And they're saying, well, if you truly want to be an entrepreneur or you've been put out on your ass and you need to reinvent yourself, it's time to start thinking about getting some government money. And getting a small business loan and either investing in a pre-existing business and just buying equity into it and working there, or buying one outright and using or just starting one from scratch. Mm-hmm. And there's this dude who's like, he claims he's made like he's got 6 businesses and he makes like six or 7 million a year. And they're kind of these low-hanging fruit type of businesses. They say dry cleaning is great. A dry cleaning business.
Okay.
Nail salons.
Okay.
You want to get a nail salon? Billy's Nail Salon? Billy's Nails.
Billy's Nails. But I'd have to hire some wonderful Asian people to work for me.
Why do they have to be Asian?
I don't know.
Why don't you call it American Boy Nails?
And I'm painting women's nails, doing no chips and stuff?
No, everybody, it's a bunch of
American
models in
Boy
Donald Trump masks that do everyone's nails.
Oh, okay.
You got to start getting wicked weird with it. Like, I think if you're going to get one of these low-hanging fruit businesses,
but if you had to wear like a rubber Donald Trump mask, it'd be hard to use your eyes while you were trying to do a great nail job. You'd be sweaty in that mask under there. And it gets hot in those nail salons with the fumes and everything that you got to breathe in.
You don't get it. Doesn't matter.
I get the joke.
But yeah, that's you have to have a gimmick. You get a gimmick to it.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. It'd be hot in a mask.
Yeah, it would.
You're looking for excuses now. Here's the other businesses: accounting firms, a title company, notary service, CFO services, property management, property maintenance, tree trimming, pool maintenance, HVAC, plumbing, electrical services. No, you can't just buy a plumbing or an HVAC business with a small business loan. So I mean, like, I'll give this guy a shot. Boy, he's got an Irish name. His name's Ben Kelly.
You could be a pool boy.
You could be a pool boy. But you can't be.
I should put that on a dating site. Professional pool boy.
You might get some hits, dude. I mean, there's been plenty of them porno sites been parodied in the pool boy for years. When was the last time you actually where are all these pool boys at? They keep popping up in my damn feed. Every story's about a pool boy.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of guys that are. Well, we don't live in Southern California.
I've never
either.
known anyone who was like, I was a pool boy one summer, and I was like, oh, really?
I know that
do tell.
There was a TV show called Pool Boys at one point that was greenlit. A friend of mine was associated with it.
Really?
Yeah, John Sadowski.
Oh, okay.
It was either called the Pool Cleaners or Pool Boys, something like that.
All right.
Landscaping.
Okay.
Barbershop.
Barbershop. That's
Dumpster rental is a business. Renting dumpsters. Hey, worked for the Huizenga family, right?
Yeah.
Dumpster. There is money in that.
Yeah.
But you got to have some clout in the city.
I mean, this looks like a lot of businesses from what I can see.
This guy had tons. This guy he listed 65 different sort of verticals that you could think about starting a business in. That is like the startup costs are relatively low.
Okay.
And that if you market it correctly, the success rate, because of the margins, are pretty good. Could be a little lucrative thing.
So in other words, go get an SBA loan for what? $1 million?
No, they're not going to give you $1 million.
I know.
They might give you, if you have a good pitch and a business plan behind it, maybe a couple $100,000 at the most. They might give you that.
Okay.
At a moderate interest rate for the next 30 or 40 years. I don't know. Think of it the same way as maybe a student loan, but I don't know if the juice might be even lower. The government used to be, and here's the other argument that they're all saying that governments used to be promoting small businesses, right? But then in COVID, they shut them all down, and there's not many of them left anymore. Mm-hmm. And so now we just have all these corporate behemoths jacking up grocery prices, and so it's like, well, if you want to take it back, you got to start getting small businesses again. I get it in some way, right?
Sure.
So that's my economical statement for the week.
Wonderful.
Maybe start a small business. Billy's Nails or American, make nails great again.
That's,
Open it in a very heavily populated conservative area, right? And then you compete against, the old Asian lady in town might get mad at you. She's like, you took my nail business with a Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Market, who knows?
Look over there, they got China nails.
Right. That's what all the girls. All the girls in the masks are doing Trump impressions. Chinese nails are bad.
Yeah.
Take that mask off. All the girls in the Trump mask are Asian girl. Anyway, we can't get that. I don't want to go there.
No.
I went over the weekend to the Lincoln Lodge. I haven't been there in here in Chicago.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and you
went and saw our friend Alex Joyce and Sean Flannery. Shout out to both of those guys, two stand-ups from Chicago that I
both been on
with.
this show in the past.
Yeah, they've both been on the program. Enjoy both of them. They run the Blackout Diaries, which is a show where they bring in everyday people and comedians.
Yes.
To tell stories of raucous drinking evenings. And they support it. It's an interactive show where they have slides and, it's fun.
Yeah.
I went.
And you heckled somebody.
I did. I couldn't help myself. And I've never been this guy before. And I wouldn't call it a heckle, really. There's a younger generation of comics out right now, right? Mm-hmm. And some of these, and Sean and Alex are very gracious to give the platform to a lot of young and up-and-coming comics that want to come on and tell their story or share an experience with the audience.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're not comics. I'm more forgiving of the people that are not comics. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But then when they're billed as a comic up front, like, hey, our next performer, can be seen at the Yuck Yucks or wherever, right?
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I don't know who this person is.
Yeah.
It's be interesting. I haven't seen them before. And then the objective is to go up and tell a story with slides. You're supposed to be prepared, And they're like looking at their phones and like the stories are completely disjointed. And I was like, wait a second. What happened to the art of being able to tell a story? Like, I need the cough button there. Sorry. But there was a woman up there, right? And she's billed. She's kind of manic when she got on the stage, like, and laughing and not making much sense and talking.
Like Judy Tenuta?
But, I mean, funny, but in not so much of like...
I love Judy Tenuta, by the way.
Yeah, I like Tenuta. Oak Park.
Yep.
Love to Judy Tenuta. But what I was saying is that she came up, this woman was manic and talking in non sequiturs and I couldn't tell if it was an act or if she was just like that nervous and that kind of nervous energy, or she just didn't know how to really tell a story beginning to middle to end properly. And I was like, well, this is a stand-up comedian. I was like, I couldn't. So
You got angry.
I had never seen anybody bomb at this show before.
Okay.
Okay? Because typically, Sean and Alex arm the entertainers. Like they've screened, they already know what story's going to be told, right? Like before you're allowed to be a part of the show, they're like, hey, I've seen your set before, or remember that funny story you told me. Would you be willing to come up and tell that story in front of an audience with some interactive slides?
Yeah.
So that it's screened. So they must have known what her story was, the story that was pitched, right? But that I don't think happened, you know?
Did you say anything to Alex and Sean?
Well, it made me uncomfortable. So like whenever I see someone bombing like that, and I could tell that some people in the audience couldn't tell that it was a bomb, you know? They were like, so
they were
and
nice.
I couldn't for a minute. I was like, oh, is this part of her act? You know? And then I was like, oh no, this is a bomb. She's lost the audience, doesn't know how to get back, never really started a story. Now, but like this went on for 15 minutes. You know? And then I did cocaine one time. And it was like, yeah, but what's the story? There's supposed to be a story here. Not the fact that you go out and party and forget yourself sometimes. We know what that is.
Right.
I was like, where's the story?
Yeah.
So as far as heckling
Did you
goes,
crap your pants? Did you puke that night? Who'd you make out with? Whose bed did you wake up in? Did you get beat up in an alley? You know?
Yeah.
That's what you want to hear.
Yeah, you want to hear, well, yeah, I just wanted some structure in the story. And I typically am forgiving, even if the story's not that good.
But what did you do to this
If you
woman?
did, I didn't do any. So I yelled out. You know, excuse me, and I got a little bit clamped. My throat's going crazy on me.
Yeah.
I yelled out in the middle of the show, kind of like to give her a boost.
Oh, you
It
were
wasn't
it was
malicious.
It was like, oh, like encourage her a
I was
little
like,
bit.
she was like, "Does anybody like that?" And I was like, you know, yeah, you know. And then it got an uncomfortable like, you know, and I was like, "Come on, turn the story around."
Yeah.
But I got Joyce sitting next to me, and I did it, and it goes against the grain of everything I ever believed in when I was doing stand up, right? Like I don't like, you want to start talking in the audience, I'll go right after you, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm that guy.
Terrible.
But I couldn't
man.
help myself. I'm like, yeah, but I was doing it from a place of like wanting her to do better. You know what I mean? It wasn't an
like a
ego.
supportive coach.
Well, it wasn't like a narcissistic, like, look at me. The attention should be on me.
Or, yeah, like you weren't trying to be like some bro and the college kid in the audience who's like, you suck.
Well, I was sober, you know?
Yeah.
I was sober. And so, like, I suppose if I had been drinking, like, maybe the story would have been, might have been more forgiving.
Yeah.
I couldn't gauge myself, but, excuse me, I went home the next night, or that night, and, like, I said to, like, Sean and Alex, I was like, was I being a jerk? Like, should I not have done that? And they're like, oh, no, man. No.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, I can't tell if these guys are like, if they thought it was rude or not. I hope I didn't make them angry, you know? So if I did, that's my public apology. But anyway, if anybody wants to go see that show,
Yeah.
it's every Saturday night at the Lincoln Lodge, and it is fun. It's awesome. Blackout Diaries. We're taking a commercial break. Fourth quarter of the program comes back after this.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come.
An Irish Christmas is coming to Chicago. Join Ireland's own Keith and Kristen Getty for an unforgettable celebration filled with favourite carols and hymns, foot-stomping instrumentals, and brand new songs that'll have the whole family singing. Invite your community. Celebrate the true meaning of the season together. December 2nd at the Chicago Theatre. Tickets are on sale now. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. That's Ticketmaster.com.
Flood Brothers Disposal was started over 90 years ago by their grandfather. With more than 20 family members still involved with the day-to-day operations, the Floods are service-oriented and believe that the right way is the only way to do something. Flood Brothers is price competitive and still offers the personal touch in an industry-trending corporate. For client-centric service without all the corporate garbage, call Flood Brothers today for a quote on your solid waste, recycling, and yard waste collection services. Call Bob Flood today at 630-261-0400 or go online at floodbrothersdisposal.com.
Fox's is the best pizza in Chicago, and everybody knows that. For 3 generations, Fox has been cooking up the most delicious known to man. And if you want to have some, you got to go south to Orland Park, where Fox's started in 1973, over 55 years ago, at 143rd Street and Ravinia Avenue. And also south to Mokina, where Fox's started in 2006, 187th Street, just west of Wolf Road. Go south to Fox's. And guess what? Both locations offer the greatest pizza in the history of the world, but also live music every Friday and Saturday at both Orland Park and Mokina at no extra charge. Go south to Fox's. Your mouth will thank you, and your ears and eyes will thank you too. You gotta love that Fox's pizza. Go south to Fox's in Orland Park and Mokina. Pick up or delivery. You can't beat Fox's Pizza, so go south.
Hey listeners, I know we don't talk about finance much on this show, outside maybe the amazing Bitcoin the musical, which we currently have in development. But I do want to take a moment and tell you about 2 brothers who make this show possible and why you should consider having an honest conversation with them about the future of your finances. Mike and Dan Madden are the brains behind Madden Funds. They've been lifelong friends to Bill Clay and me, and we entrust the Maddens with our money and the precious donations of our listeners so we don't let outrageous ideas get the best of us. And you should too. Do yourself a favor and reach out to Dan or Mike Madden today to book a consultation on the future of your finances. If you have questions about your financial future or current situation, give them a call. The number is 708-848-3200. Again, that number is 708-848-3200, or you can visit their website, Madden Funds, at www.maddenfunds.com. Again, www.maddenfunds.com.
And we're back, Hooley's Hooley, fourth quarter of the program.
Yes, here we are.
Been a fun one this far.
Yeah.
So you don't think you're going to start any new businesses?
I don't know. You never know.
What would you start if you had the opportunity? If someone just threw like $200,000 at you, what would you do right away? Would you start a business?
I don't think so right away.
Or would you just start going crazy on FanDuel or something like that?
I'd touch a little bit of that money for a little bit. But no, I would probably think about a good business to start with, but like something like where it was very cash involved.
Oh, you want a cash business?
Yes.
Oh, then the G's they're not going to give you an SBA loan to do a cash business. You got to show them your returns.
Yeah, that's
to make
a good
good
point.
on the loan.
That is a good point. What would you do?
I don't know. But like these sorts of opportunities, I think I've always thought that laundry businesses are lucrative, especially since, maybe it is the cash.
If I go to the laundromat now and I want to do say I want to wash all my sheets, my comforter, and say I wait for 3 weeks to do laundry, right?
Yeah.
That cost me close to about $45.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so oh God,
Mike has a note. Our egg rolls and Coke business.
Yeah.
Yes, you could start out. You just get a guy on a bike who sells egg rolls and cans of Coke for $5 or $6.
How about a nail salon that does egg rolls and Coke?
Ooh.
We double it up.
Ooh, that's even better.
Yeah.
That's even better. I don't know what the title is. It's got to be something catchy,
Nail roll.
Oh, nail roll? The naughty egg.
The naughty what?
I don't know why it's got to be naughty. I think anything with naughty in the title prints dollars, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Naughty Wash. All right. Laundromat called Naughty Wash.
Oh,
right.
Is that where strippers take their
Yes,
their outfits
it's where
to wash
everybody
them?
takes their sex-stained sheets and clothes.
To Naughty Wash?
To Naughty Wash, right? It's got a different kind of detergent,
Oh wow, that's disgusting to think about, but it's
right. You
You'd
got
have to be
any
in,
sort of human bodily fluids?
Naughty Wash would have to be
We got
in
it.
the hills, the San Jose, or wherever wherever the porn capital of America is, out there.
It's
Van Nuys.
Van Nuys.
Yeah.
Officer, then I went and took my comforter over to that Naughty Wash in Van Nuys. Yeah, we know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Hey, how'd you do in the recession
And
in this
how
terrible
long-
economy? I started a washing service for adult film stars in Van Nuys.
It's just not,
called Naughty
no,
Wash.
it's not adult. It's not. It's for anyone. It's just for societies in the gutter.
It's just for
anyway.
sick freaks.
Yeah. Right. Put that right
For
on the
anyone
window.
in society.
Naughty
No.
Wash for sick freaks. Charge a couple bucks more than your normal laundromat and give them some sort of freaky weird experience.
Right, like you can sign up with an alternate name. Like if you want to be on the you'll never be publicized for coming here. You know what I mean? Like no one will ever find out if you're a customer of Naughty Wash.
Right.
Or,
we have a confidentiality here at Naughty Wash that we do not disclose the names. It's very discreet.
Yeah.
Very discreet.
If you want to wear a mask when you come in, that's allowed. We wash masks too.
Oh, yeah. All right. All kinds of mess. Anyone who's a furry can have their costumes laundered.
Oh, gosh. We could make a ton of money off the furries.
Right?
Yeah.
Get like a dry cleaners for that.
$150 for a furry costume.
Right. Yeah. Like, do you have Bob's rabbit costume? I'm sorry, Mr. Bob. It's going to be an extra day on the rabbit costume.
There's a kid outside with a power washer, like spraying it. Like...
There was some poop on the inside of the leg that we're just having a little bit of difficulty with. So Mike has a note. So right now it's laundries, nails, egg rolls, and Coke. Those are the business models for this economy.
You can get an egg roll and Coke, you can get your nails done, and then get your disgusting, sexy sex clothes or whatever you want to wash.
Sex-stained clothes, fecal-stained clothes, furry outfits, costumes, all that. Anything kind of naughty. Right. Imagine the guy calling up and going, I got a sweatshirt and I got a little, well, it's not, is it qualify for being naughty enough? I just want to get my stuff cleaned at Naughty Wash. Please let me in. Make it very exclusive.
Yeah.
Like what level
like
of
a club membership.
Right.
Like
what level
A membership, B membership, C memberships to Naughty Wash.
Right. Jeffrey Epstein got all his comforters done at Naughty Wash. That's where they made all their money.
Yeah.
That's not a bad. I see. We joke about stupid stuff like this. Watch, there's going to be some guy in Tampa who comes out with it.
Do you hire like someone who had been in like the adult entertainment
Why
industry?
do they have to be in the
to be like the face of like
Peter North
like
is the
Peter
face
North's
of,
like, hey, Naughty Wash, it's awesome.
We just
check it out.
We get an AI Peter North.
AI Peter North.
We just make a guy who looks like he may have been an adult film actor. It's an ambiguous one.
He's the ambiguous porn star.
Right, his name's Rod. Hey, it's Rod from Naughty Wash.
Special this 4th of July.
Open your emails now. This is not a Britney Spears video offer. This is an offer to get your sheets done down the street for cheaper than your normal laundry service.
Yeah. Well, I think we're onto something. Maybe we could call the government and tell them, hey, what do you think about
Naughty
egg
Wash?
Rolls and Coke, nails, and
the
Naughty
SBA loan, they can't really discriminate, right? Be like, I'm starting a company called Naughty Wash. Do I still qualify? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We're at the end.
We are.
Fun show.
Yeah.
Want to thank our sponsors again. Fox's Pizza out in Orland Park in Mokina. Flood Brothers Disposal. Guinness Fund. Or Madden Funds.
Yes, it's almost 2 weeks in a row you've done that almost.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Madden Funds, they're the best.
Yeah.
And Guinness Irish Stout. If you've enjoyed the last hour, go to hibernianradio.org for all archives. Find us on YouTube. Follow us on Insta now.
Yep.
Handle to be determined. Thinking about calling it Houli Twins Comedy.
Hey, whatever.
We don't know yet. Could be. So be on the lookout for it at the end. Or Naughty Boys.
Naughty Twins.
Naughty Twins Comedy? Naughty Twins Comedy.
Sure.
Naughty Irish Twin Comedy.
Why not?
Whatever. If you've enjoyed it, thank you. Until next week.
Bye.
Bye.